Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the AM Report for HAPS News, the network of now. I'm Alex Mahajer. It is Thursday, February 4th, and this morning we're talking about the Democrats and their victory right now on the COVID-19 stimulus package and on their efforts to discipline Marjorie Taylor Greene. We're going to talk about those two hot topics and all of today's top headlines this morning on the AM Report. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. I'm Alex Mahajer. If you're watching on the HAPS app, website, or platform, click the award button. Let us know you're enjoying it. Or if you're watching on Reddit, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, leave a comment. Let's bat around with each other live on air. I can read them. They come in a little bit quickly, but I can read them as fast as I can when they come. Thank you so much for everybody who's joined already. Hello, hello, hello. I appreciate your comments. Good to see you all. And good to see everybody from really across the country and across the world. Really, it's nice to see people from all across the world when we do these broadcasts. So thanks for joining, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking this morning as we go through some of today's top headlines. And we do have a lot of headlines to cover this morning, so let's get right into it. Let's see. There are two justice systems in America. That's the top headline I'd like to cover with you all this morning. There are two justice systems in the United States. And this is really because of Jenny Cudd, a Texas woman charged with 2 misdemeanors in Capitol insurrection. And she's asked a federal judge to let her travel to Mexico for a 4-day, quote, work retreat. And the request was granted. She was released from jail pending trial and plans to plead not guilty despite publicly boasting about her participation in this insurrection and being totally unrepentant about her crimes, which she has admitted to on camera, on social media. Jenny Cudd, what are you thinking? Cudd's lawyers, Jenny Cudd, she's a flower shop owner, and she was an unsuccessful mayoral candidate in Midland, Texas. Her lawyers didn't respond to emails and calls on Wednesday today, asking for comment about this trip to Mexico, but it has been granted. And they said in the court filings that this trip was planned for such a long time, even before the Capitol insurrection. So she should really be able to go. And it's a tourist hotspot right there near Cancun where she wants to go, despite the fact that we're also in a global pandemic. But that's, I guess, neither here nor there for Jenny Cudd of Midland, Texas. So the Justice Department has filed briefs in this case saying that she's totally unrepentant for her role in the insurrection. They've cited her comments on her Facebook video live posts and interviews she gave with the media shortly after this the insurrection, where she's saying, yes, I'm proud of my actions. I effing charged the Capitol today with patriots today. Hell yes, I am proud of my actions. And we have a little bit of video footage of Jenny Cudd. Let's hear from the lady herself.
Vandalize anything, but we did. We did, as I say that. We did break down the Nancy Pelosi's office door, and somebody stole her gavel and took a picture sitting in the chair, flipping off the camera, and that was on Fox News. Patriots got down on the floor and were sitting in the House members and the senators' chair.
I'm proud of everything that I was a part of today.
Oh.
And I'll be proud of everything that I'm a part of at the next one.
Oh, really? She's proud of everything that she was a part of today, and she's proud of everything that she'll be a part of at the next one. Totally unrepentant, boasts about her behavior, got approved to take a 4-day vacation to Mexico. So people are really galled by this, and so am I. And really, that's because there are two justice systems in America. If you're a white woman who storms the seat of American democracy and violently knocks down Nancy Pelosi's door, which is one of the crimes that she's charged with, right? It's two misdemeanors that she's charged with. And you storm down and take down her door and boast about it later on Facebook, you can travel to Mexico to get to that work retreat, which, by the way, you're a flower shop owner. So what kind of work retreat are you attending in Mexico that really needs your participation here? And what kind of judge allows you to go? But if you're a Black Lives Matter protester, and you're one of the Black Lives Matter protesters over the summer who were peaceful protesters, and you got arrested for some small infraction and faced real prison time for it, and the law cracked down on you and tear gassed you and beat you and arrested you and detained you for days and days, this ought to feel like there are two justice systems in America. Jenny Cudd, you asshole. Anyway, that's the one that really galled me this morning. I'm glad we got to talk about it a little bit with you all. What do you guys think about Jenny Cudd? What do you think about this judge granting her this 4-day vacation? In other news, Democrats move forward with their $1.9 trillion COVID-19 stimulus package. That is the United States House of Representatives passed a resolution last night that fell on party lines, really 218 to 212. Not a single Republican supported the measure. The Senate is expected to approve a budget measure later this week to move forward with the reconciliation process. So really, Democrats are, trudging forward with their plan to pass a $1.9 trillion stimulus package for COVID-19. So this is a resolution, and what happens is this approval of this measure allows Congress to move forward with reconciliation, which is a budget process. And through that, Democrats can pass an aid bill without Republican support at all. And so they're moving forward because the Republican alternative to their $1.9 trillion stimulus package is something much, much smaller, and that is very insufficient and doesn't really meet the needs of the American people. So once both the House and the Senate pass a resolution that they're going to do a budget reconciliation bill, then they can set out to start drafting the actual language and craft the actual rescue package that they hope to pass in the coming weeks. We know that President Biden wants this to happen much quicker, so we'll see how fast it actually gets done. But we know that using reconciliation, the parties can avoid the Senate filibuster and pass a bill with just a simple majority. So let's keep our eyes on this one. And in terms of the president, Joe Biden says that caving on $1,400 stimulus checks would be breaking his promise. It's breaking a promise, he says. So there it is. Joe Biden, yesterday morning, President Biden told House Democrats that backing anything less than $1,400 stimulus checks would mean starting his presidency with a broken promise. And he's not willing to do that. He's giving his blessing to congressional Democrats to move forward with this process. And there's a really funny video of Jen Psaki, who is the White House press secretary, talking about this yesterday in a way that was sort of funny. She just broke down the simple math for the congressional reporters who are asking. Here's Jen Psaki, White House press secretary.
There was $600 payments, as you know, in the $900 billion package that passed in December. This is $1,400. Together, that's $2,000. So it would be delivering on the promise he made, and it's something that he is firmly sticking by.
Simple math, Republicans. Something that I don't think the Republican Party's quite figured out is just simple math. So Biden saying caving on this promise would be starting his presidency with a broken promise, and he's not going to do that. House Republicans, on the other hand, they're really refusing to hold their promise to the American people and represent the American people. They are refusing to discipline freshman Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene for her conspiracist and violent viewpoints that have landed her in all this hot water. So the Democrats are going to do it for them. House Democrats will vote Thursday to remove Marjorie Taylor Greene from her committee assignments after Republican leaders refused to act and instead attacked Democrats. So House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy offered an alternative punishment of moving her to less reputable assignments. He told House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer that was his proposal. Earlier in the day, McCarthy sought a commitment from Hoyer yesterday during a call to yank the resolution from the floor if Republicans agreed to move Greene from her House Education Committee to the Small Business Panel, which is just a much, much less reputable committee. The Republican also serves on the House Budget Committee. They said we're not going to move her from there, but Hoyer swiftly shot this down. He said that the House is going to vote on Thursday to boot her from all of her congressional panels. And so McCarthy's pissed and he's attacking Democrats instead of doing the right thing, which is to discipline this person. It shouldn't be allowed. This is nuts. A woman who who endorses views that the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, should be executed, that there are Jewish space lasers that started the California wildfires, that the Democrats are a Satan-worshiping pedophiliac cabal. Like that Parkland and Sandy Hook shootings were staged and fake. This person should not serve on the Education Committee, that's for sure. A committee that represents the welfare of children definitely shouldn't happen. But we need to review our hiring practices when a woman like Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia, representative, freshman representative, she has a job in the U.S. House of Representatives, and that her caucus will not punish her for it is very problematic. It's very indicative of the illness of the Republican Party right now. And here's House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy kind of making excuses for Marjorie Taylor Greene and fumbling through it, and it's embarrassing. And let's hear from the House Minority Leader.
I think it would be helpful if you could hear exactly what she told all of us, denouncing QAnon. I don't know if I say it right. I don't even know what it is. Any from the shootings. She said she knew nothing about lasers or all the different things that have been brought up about her.
He doesn't even know what QAnon is. What is QAnon? Never heard of it. Crazy QAnon. What a disingenuous hack this guy is. I'm a little spicy this morning, everybody, because we got to have accountability in this country. If we're going to ever have healing, if we're ever going to have unity, if we're going to have progress, if we're going to have a healthy democracy, we have to have a healthy two-party system. The Republican Party is sick. It's got a sickness that needs to be figured out and rooted out. And that's made even more clear by our next bit, that Republicans favor Marjorie Taylor Greene. In a poll by Axios and SurveyMonkey yesterday, or today rather, Marjorie Taylor Greene is favored and more popular than Liz Cheney by a lot. Liz Cheney, of course, is the GOP leader. She's a leader in the GOP. She's the third most powerful member of the House Republican caucus. She is the Republican conference chair. And she was one of the 10 Republicans who voted to impeach Trump because of his incitement to the insurrection. And this poll shows that Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a nut, is more popular than a woman who made plenty of sense and did the right thing, even if it meant circumventing her party. She put her country before party, and to Republicans, that is not acceptable, at least according to this poll. And it's not just that she's a little more popular, it's that she's popular at all, and yes, by a lot. Marjorie Taylor Greene, let's look at these results, is, Kevin McCarthy's a little bit more popular than she is. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a net favorability rating that surpasses Mitch McConnell and Liz Cheney by a lot. It's a 30-point spread. So there's a sickness in the Republican Party, and until that sickness is healed, we're going to continue to have a rough go of it, in my humble opinion. What do you guys think of all this? Leave me your comment. Let me know. It's good to see you all chiming in. Thank you for the awards this morning. I appreciate it. If you're enjoying the program, click the award button. It'll show up on there, and you can let us know what you're feeling and thinking. Appreciate all the comments. Thanks so much for joining this morning on the AM Report for HAPS News. Hello from Hamilton. Hello from Raleigh. Is this real for you? Should be what a psychiatrist needs to ask, says Michelle Alexander. Yeah, I think so too. Not to be mistaken with a Q-tip, she says. I think her nickname, we decided, should be Margie Q. So let's take that to Twitter and let people know. Margie Q. Raymond says that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy day, and I want to appreciate you guys for the awards. Thanks so much for joining the AM Report for HAPS News, the network of Now. We are live every weekday morning with all of your quick political news and headlines to get your day started right. If you like this journalism, if you like this content, please consider subscribing to it. You can visit me at haps.tv/@Alex and become a recurring monthly sponsor, or buy me a cup of coffee, or you can even just click the subscribe button and get a notification every morning when we go live. We'll be back tomorrow morning, and want to thank you all, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.